Well, after many years of hiatus, gold is flowing again in Bendigo, with the Bendigo Gold Limited Company continuing their exploration works underneath Bendigo CBD. We are in fact about a kilometre underground. Now, while they are continuing their trial phase, it is anything but a trial. They're already producing thousands of ounces of gold. Currently, the company produces around 10% of Australian gold, and the Bendigo region is second only to the Pilbara for Australia's largest gold producing area. I had a chance to speak with the company's Chief Financial Officer, Tim Churcher.
We're actually under about the centre part of Bendigo, central Bendigo. We're about, as you said, about 940 metres underground, and we're really standing in the heart of Gill Reef, which is one of our major reefs that is supporting our current phase of production here in Bendigo.
So what are the men doing down here at the moment? What are they actually mining for?
Well, right now, what they're actually doing is extracting the quartz out of the reef, and in Bendigo, all the gold is contained in quartz, and the quartz, as you can see behind me, is contained in these large reefs which we call saddle reefs. So what we're doing here is we're going through a fairly careful, methodical process of extracting the quartz, leaving the grey rock in the ground and extracting the white rock. And we take that, this machine behind me is actually about a $1.3 million machine, which is actually, its job is to drill the rock so that we can blast it. Once it's blasted, we can then place it into trucks, and the trucks then carry the dirt up to our processing plant, which is sitting on the surface, some 950 metres above us.
So how old is this mine? How long have you been mining for gold for?
Well, there's been mining in Bendigo since 1851. However, this modern phase of production commenced in June last year. So Bendigo Mining did a phase of production in 2006. That paused in early 2007, and really we've reinitiated production only in the last 6 months.
So over the last 6 months, I was just going to ask, how has it been?
Well, it's actually gone exactly to expectations, which is very comforting for us. Bendigo has had its difficulties in the past with regards to grade estimation, because the gold here is very, what they call very coarse-grained. It has has difficulties with estimating the grades, but we feel that we're on top of that now, and how we're getting on top of that is actually through doing this trial mining. So we announced in the December quarter that we're producing at a rate of about 35 to 40,000 ounces a year. At current gold prices, that means we've got a business here that can generate revenue of anywhere between $40 to $50 million a year. So that in itself is a viable business at current gold prices. So
how many people do you have working down here at the moment?
Well, we've just actually increased the numbers in the last quarter, and we've now got about 108 people. We also have about 30 contractors that help us with our drilling. So about 108 people.
What sort of lifespan are we talking about for the Gill Reef, for example?
Well, Gill Reef, we started mining it in June, and we anticipate from what we can see ahead of us that the reefs we've currently identified, we've got about 18 months on what we currently know, and what we're doing right now is trying to expand that life beyond 18 months by bringing in new reefs through our exploration program, and we announced in the last quarter that we're having some success on that front.
So where is the company going? Well, over the past 6 months, it has increased its cash balance by $2 million to $45 million. And within the past couple of days, it's been admitted to the ASX 300. I had a chance to speak with the company's Chief Executive Officer. Well, Rob, we're seeing a change in the gold price. It's going up. How is that affecting your company?
It's obviously very positive for us because it's increasing our revenue on our level of production. And it's also encouraging us to look at some of the low-grade reefs which we know about at Bendigo, but which have been put on the back burner pending an economic review.
We look 18 months ago and there was concern that the company might run out of money by the middle of last year. That hasn't happened. Why didn't it happen?
Well, because we put a very strong cash conservation program in place. We stopped doing some of our activities. We reduced exploration away from the mine site. And more importantly, we got back into trial production through our trial mining program, producing gold and generating revenue.
At the moment you're trial mining, but that seems like it's only a name because you're working right now as if you would be under real circumstances.
Well, we're doing things with more detail. We're mining discrete blocks, we're processing them discretely so we can assess the grade of various parts of the reef on a fairly localised basis. However, we also are in a production phase because the trial produces gold, which allows us to generate revenue.
At the moment you're mining 3 reefs, but I understand that there are another 2 that have been discovered as well. How will that affect your operations?
Well, the two new reefs, Dunlop and Nankervis, we're still exploring. They've been discovered, but we have to do some additional work to determine whether or not they're economic and worth accessing. So that'll happen over the next few months with additional drilling and financial analysis.
One thing that I've noticed being here is it's a very local company to Bendigo. How many of your shareholders are actually from Bendigo?
Well, that's true. We have about 14,000 shareholders and about 3,000 of them have Bendigo postcodes. So that's very encouraging because Bendigo has a long history and the people in Bendigo have a lot of faith in the project.
And looking forward, do you focus solely on your operations here in Bendigo or perhaps extending your search elsewhere as well?
Well, we've said publicly that we are looking for opportunities outside Bendigo. Certainly our number one focus is Bendigo and to explore Bendigo and we're doing everything we sensibly can at Bendigo, but at the same time we do have a strong cash position, we do have strong technical skills, we do have strong commercial skills, so we're looking to see whether there are other opportunities in which we can expand the company.
And so this is happening at a time when the price of gold is increasing. Production of gold in Bendigo first began in 1851 and it went on the gold rush through to 1954. More than 60 years later, it seems that now a company in Bendigo is bucking the trend of the resources sector across Australia and around the world and adding staff, hundreds of staff here at the Bendigo Mining Limited Company. Ahron Young, Business Channel, about a kilometre underneath Bendigo.